channel, meaning you can still find them through the playlist that I have on my channel. You just go into like playlist, it's right there. I wouldn't take them down or make them private, but yeah, they're unlisted. Except the last 2 videos for like teaching like Hangul and the sound changes. And I will stop my Patreon as well. I think I will keep it until the end of April probably, but I will not charge my patrons for April. So if you still want to get like the flashcards or some guides, anything like that, you can still go there. You can purchase it, you can leave right away as well. So yeah, wait, I brought like iced coffee for this video. I do have this glass mug that makes really good sounds. Okay, so now let's get into why I am stopping this series. And the short version of this is that I can no longer keep up with it. The longer version I will tell you now. So let's go back to 2020, and at the time I've had around 300 subscribers, and one day I've had this random idea, what would be really fun? Making like this video with flashcards and with some words and repeating them so that others could remember it. And I thought that this video would get like 30 views max, maybe 300 at best, but it got 30,000, and that was something that I didn't expect, because I thought it would be just like one-time video, and it's actually what got my channel to be monetized. Yeah, simply because of that video I was monetized a few months later. And YouTube kind of tells you, oh, people really like this video, you should make similar ones. And I did. And over time it sort of grew into this huge series that I did, and it became something that I never would have expected. And I don't know if I could go back in time, I don't know if I would make it like that. And I'll tell you why. I don't regret making it now, but yeah, it's a long story. Anyways, let's dive into it. So I was very aware that I'm not the best. I was not the teacher that was supposed to teach you this stuff, and I was dealing with such a huge imposter syndrome. And I think after like 6 months of making these videos, I really started to feel how could I even describe it? I just didn't feel like I should continue after 6 months. And here we are, like a year and a half later. But now I was making these videos for myself too, because I am the worst when it comes to review in with languages. I just never review stuff ever, and so I tend to forget a lot of things. And so I just thought, oh, this is like a nice opportunity for me. I can review a lot of vocabulary. It's good. I was making these flashcards. I was putting a lot of effort into the videos, and I know that at some point, like, I noticed that the views started going down, which I guess makes sense. I feel like the first few videos, it was only a coincidence that it was picked up by the algorithm somehow. And so I've decided to start my Korean learning responsibility of always making videos so that I wouldn't scam people, on the Patreon, because it was only for $1 a month. But it didn't matter to me. I suddenly started feeling a lot of pressure to continue with the series, and even sometimes I wasn't really feeling it, and I would force myself to make new videos. Plus, I knew that a portion of my viewers really loved the series, which is essentially what kept me going for so long. I was like, okay, clearly people like this, so I will keep making it. And I was, like somewhere along the way, I started making the videos only for my viewers and not for myself anymore, because I just, I didn't really want to make them anymore. Now, the big part of it wasn't just me having an imposter syndrome. Let me have a cup of iced coffee. I would also get a lot of weird comments on these videos, and most of them were in Korean. And here's the thing, I never receive hate comments in English. I receive some in Czech, but I received a lot in Korean, and I don't think it's because Koreans would just be, like really mean. I think it's because YouTube doesn't automatically block the comments as much as in English, for example. And truth be told, I probably get tons of hate comments in English, but I don't see them because they're filtered. And so I would have to go into this like special folder hidden like somewhere in hell, to actually see them. And I don't. I went there once and it wasn't pretty, so I never went there into this folder. And yeah, I received a shit ton of just not like weird comments, but not even hate comments, but a lot of people were just making fun of me. I would usually just block the person right away so they couldn't comment anymore on my videos, but there was no point in that because they kept coming. Wait, let me put it down. So I think, here's the thing, like at the time I didn't think much of it, it didn't even affect my love for making the Korean videos as much. However, it deeply affected my love for learning the actual language, because they're even like, some people say, oh, you can't be fluent if you don't know every vocabulary in the language. That's not true. I still learn vocabulary in English, in Czech, which is my native language, and I would say I do have a pretty good vocab. But anyways, so of course, like I still was learning, and I will keep learning. And it's not like learning a language is not something that you can do for a few years and never revisit it ever again, like you're constantly absorbing new stuff. And I didn't realize at the time how much it affected my love for learning the language, and it was because there was like this voice in my head saying that no matter how much effort you put into like learning a language, there's always going to be someone who will make fun of you, no matter what. And I don't know, I would never make fun of someone like that, especially because Korean is like my fifth language already, and these people, they would always write it in Korean, and at some point I started having this like almost attitude towards them, because I was just like, okay, how many languages can you speak? Like, then we'll talk. I never replied though, because I didn't want to give them satisfaction, but that was not healthy for anybody. And I want to be clear, it wasn't point, I think in August last year, I already felt like I just don't want to keep making these videos anymore. And I wasn't learning anything new for months at that point. And I kind of didn't understand why. I thought, oh, maybe I just don't like learning languages anymore. But that's not true. It was just that I felt really, really demotivated. And sure, you can be like, it's just a comment on YouTube, it doesn't matter. And I did think about those comments like that, but at some point it got a bit too much, and it started to really affect like my personal life, you know. And yeah, that's why I don't know. That's why I now the series is just unlisted on my channel, because I just don't want new people to just come in and like demotivate me from actually learning more of the language. Yeah, that's the truth. Now, moving forward, I can hear my stomach. I don't want to say I'm stopping forever, because I don't like saying final goodbyes to stuff. Truth be told, like, a part of me still loved making these videos, because I know that here's the thing, like, there was like 90% of positive comments, and there was this like 10% of the mean ones, and unfortunately, like, the mean ones are louder. And it warmed my heart when people really loved the series. It really did. But I feel like the negative aspect of it kind of threw it like out of balance. You know, there was always like the good. I'm holding the cup, but there's always the good and the bad. And if the good is like, you know, larger than the bad, then it's worth it. And if it starts going like this, then it's maybe time to take a step back. You know, there's actually this saying in Czech that can be roughly translated as, you go with a jug to get water until the handle breaks. And it's how would I say it? Basically, like, you keep going, and at some point the jug starts like breaking apart, but you still keep going to get the water until it just breaks completely. And like a week ago, I was just like browsing comments. I already had a bad day, and I saw this really mean Korean comment, and I've blocked the user immediately. And at that point I was just like, I can't do this anymore. My handle broke. Yeah. Now, another thing is that I've launched another Patreon for my videos and for other stuff, and it's super hard to keep up with both, because there's a lot of pressure. And I love making ASMR videos so much. And like, at the end of the day, like, if I would have to choose between like making more videos and still keep making Korean videos, I would choose making more videos for my Patreons. So yeah, I definitely felt like a pressure, not from my patrons, because this was a pressure coming from within, you know, to always like keep up with everything. And I got a bit overwhelmed. I knew that I can't keep going like this. Yeah. If you are a big fan of the series, I'm truly sorry. so much. And the people who left the negative comments, I'm not gonna say anything. When you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything. Of course, like, people can say what they want, but I don't know. I never left a hate comment. Or like, I never made fun of someone online. I just don't feel the need to, you know. I don't know. I don't want to say anything bad. I don't want to be like passive aggressive in this video, and you know, there's no point in it. There's no point. I can't change that. It kind of comes with being online, and I feel like YouTube kind of stepped up the game, because I actually can't think of a hate English comment that I would receive in the last like 6 months. Yeah, so YouTube really kind of stepped up the game that you can write the comment, but the creator won't see it. I feel like that's the best way, because you have freedom of speech and you can say whatever you want. Doesn't mean that the other side has to listen, you know. But yeah, that unfortunately wasn't the case for the Korean videos, so yeah. Alright, I hope you still like this video. It's very personal to me. I was a little scared before making this video, because like in most cases I don't talk about the behind the scenes. I do now talk about that on my Patreon for making like videos. My regular Patreon, Kayla ASMR, I think that's what it's called. I try to, because yeah, you only see like the surface of the iceberg, and you never know kind of what the person is going through behind the camera, because it just, yeah, sometimes, you know, the reason could be because it's not fit for ASMR, or because, and this was the case for me,